Black janitor mocked at Harvard lecture, until he solved the equation that stunned the world. The lecture hall was packed. Cameras clicked, students whispered, professors lined the front rows. Harvard's mathematics symposium, where the world's brightest minds had gathered to watch Dr. Keating unveil a problem considered unsolvable. Jonathan Reeves, billionaire tech mogul, sat in the VIP section, bored but polite. To him, this was just another excuse to throw money around. On the far side of the hall, a black janitor named Marcus Hale pushed his mop quietly, ignored as usual. He emptied trash bins, wiped the same whiteboards the professors would later cover with equations, and slipped in and out like a ghost. "Ladies and gentlemen," Dr. Keating began, his voice booming, "this equation has humbled 20 generations of scholars. If solved, it could change physics, and the future of technology." Gasps rippled as the chalk squeaked across the board. Symbols stretched in a tangled web, impossible to follow. Keating turned, smiling smugly. "Take your time. But I promise, it cannot be done." Students tried anyway. One after another approached, scribbled, crossed out, shook their heads. Laughter bubbled when one of them gave up after only 30 seconds. Jonathan Reeves leaned back, whispering to his assistant, "This is what the brightest minds can't fix. No wonder I hire algorithms instead of people." But then, something unexpected. A hand rose at the back. Rough, calloused. "Marcus." The room fell into silence. Students smirked. "A janitor? Here?" "Sir," Marcus said quietly, "you started with the wrong assumption." Keating's jaw clenched. "Excuse me." Marcus stepped forward. He picked up the chalk with fingers still rough from years of scrubbing floors. Slowly, carefully, he began rewriting the opening line. The board filled again, but this time, his movements weren't hesitant. They were deliberate. Confident. At first, the students laughed. Then the laughter died. Line after line, Marcus broke through what no one else could. Minutes ticked by. His breathing was steady, his posture calm, as though the answer had lived inside him all along. And then, silence. Marcus dropped the chalk. The board glowed with a perfect, clean solution. Elegant. Untouchable. The room erupted. Gasps. Screams. A professor in the front row fainted. Cameras flashed wildly. Dr. Keating staggered forward, staring at the board like it was witchcraft. This is impossible." "No janitor could." Jonathan Reeves shot to his feet, eyes wide. For the first time in years, the billionaire was speechless. He pushed through the crowd, stood before Marcus, and whispered, "Do you even realize what you just did? You've cracked the code every AI I've built has failed to solve." Marcus shrugged, wiping his hands on his uniform. It was just obvious. If you've lived your life cleaning up other people's messes, you start seeing patterns nobody else sees. The hall froze. Professors stared at him with a mixture of awe and shame. Jonathan turned to his assistant. "Get me a contract. Now. Whatever this man wants, he works for me." But Marcus shook his head. "I don't want your money. I want a chance." His eyes burned with quiet fire. "A chance to study. To prove that brilliance doesn't just come from privilege. It can come from the broom closet." The audience roared. Students stood. Professors wept. And Jonathan Reeves, billionaire and cynic, realized he had just witnessed history, not from the stage, but from the janitor everyone had ignored. The headlines the next morning weren't about Keating. They weren't even about Harvard. They were about Marcus Hale, the janitor who solved the unsolvable. And the world would never look at him the same again.